We got ourselves a 40-foot high cube evergreen. We're calling these two trippers. That's what we're calling them down at the yards right now. This is not a one trip, which would typically be about 1 to 2 years in service and usually one trip across the ocean. Immaculate condition. These are called two trippers, so they're usually about 5 to 7 years old, and they got a little patina from the forklift on there, but the doors are real clean, no excessive rust buildup. A couple of really small, maybe dents or bumps on them, but in a sense, in the overall, they're going to be pretty much, free of major dents, any repairs. Got a little bump right there, a little bit of rust, like I said, a little spot right there. But I mean, the side is in really good shape. It doesn't have any major forklift bumps or catastrophic dents on these things. These are 9 foot 6 inches tall. A high cube is 9 foot 6. A standard container is going to be 8 foot 6 inches tall. Once again, like I said, on the pillars, you're gonna get a little bit of rust patina because they get scraped on the forklifts, on the big cranes that lift them up at the ports. But this one is got a cool light bulb sticker. But this is free of any major catastrophic dents or bumps. I'll show you a cargo worthy after this to give you kind of an example of the difference. Got a little bump there, a little bump there. I saw some packaging in this thing. This was used for hauling furniture. So it had boxes of like kind of like Amazon couches and stuff, like like Walmart style furniture, like, box, like a couch or ottoman, things like that. So typically the 40 foots are used for soft goods, furniture in boxes, lightweight, like linens, pillows, you name it, paper goods. So 40 footers are typically in a better shape than a typical 20 footer, the same caliber. But like I said, this is considered a two trip container. I believe this is from a 2018 batch. So that is 6 years, it's almost 7 years old. But you got to figure, like I said, in the 7-year span, this might have gone across the ocean 5 to 6 times. They're calling it a two trip. Obviously not two trips identically or exactly. Like a one trip, typically it'll be 1 to 2 years old from the production date, but it's gone over the seas one time, sat in ports, might be 2 years old, but it's only gone one trip across the ocean. A two trip, it's not going to be two trip exactly. It's probably going to be more like 5 to 7 trips, but in a couple year span, a 6 year span, probably 4 years on the ocean. The floor on this thing's in immaculate condition. It still has all the sealer, like this one's exposed, but most of these all have the sealer still on the bolts. It's in really good shape. No major dents, no loose panels, no repairs have been done inside here. It's all original. It's not all painted with a bunch of funky colors in here. It's all the original gray. You got smudges on them, like I said. Forklift guys do bump into these things. Boxes scrape against here, things like that. Handles and tie down things scrape against these, but no major dents. That's probably from a forklift thing tapping that, but it didn't push it out. So great shape. This thing, like I said, the floor is in immaculate shape. If you wanted to build a house out of something, use this kind of in a temporary state where you threw or you put nice things in here, you don't want to get, contaminate anything like that. You wanted to paint this a different color, you wouldn't have to worry about having all these bumps and bruises showing through. It's just a really clean container. So this is a two trip. We don't get them very often. One trips, I bring them up on per case basis because they are very expensive. This is going to meet in the middle between a cargo worthy. With at current times, we're 2026, start of the year, a cargo worthy 40-foot high cube does go for about $5,000, about $4,900 up here. Something like this is going to be closer to $5,800, 56 to 58, depending on the trends. And then like a one trip version of this is about $7,500. So it kind of meets you in the middle between a cargo worthy and a one trip, but you get the one trip, close to the one trip quality, but they're considering these a two trip container. So anyway, anyone's interested, give us a call, 928-243-3443. We're up in Apache County, Arizona. We operate through the whole state of Arizona, but we try to keep it up in the mountain areas. We don't really like to go down in the flats other than picking things up. Doors open and close really good on this. Here's an example of a cargo-worthy 20 foot. So a typical cargo worthy, here's the patina you're going to see. It's got bumps, it's got bruises, it's got dents, might even have repairs on there. Those are considered cargo worthy. And this is going to probably be about a 20-year-old container. Typically you're going to see 18 to 24, even 25 years sometimes before they decommission these bad boys. So typical container, they call them used containers. That could be a as is, a wind and watertight, or a cargo worthy. I don't bring up as is, I bring up wind and watertight, cargo worthy, 2 trips when I can get them, or 1 trips. I don't go down the as is or the hazmat, little funky ones like some people will bring up here. It's just too junky of a container. So anyway, this is a cargo worthy. So as much as it has some patina, it doesn't look as pretty. It's much more dented than the 40 foot. This is still considered a cargo worthy container. And these things pull about $3,300, including local delivery up in the Apache Navajo County areas. So if you're interested in something like that, you can give us a call too. But you can see the difference on these. Plus, 20-foot containers in general are used for heavier equipment, auto supplies, forklift components, building, accessories, things like that. It's going to be heavy duty stuff. They're using heavier loads inside this 20-footer than they typically do with a 40-footer. So if these were both cargo worthy, that would always be a little bit nicer than the 20 typically, because they're just not banged around. The 40-foot usually have soft goods, hard goods. Those are the difference typically. For whatever reason, that's just why the industry does that. That's very much more common, probably for the lift weight. If you're going to fill this full of heavy materials, it's a 20-footer. It already weighs less, about a 5,000-pound container. Well, that's about a 9,000-pound container. With soft goods, you're probably evening in the weight as far as them lifting up the cranes, things like that. So anyway, 6-year-old container, 22-year-old container, big difference. So if you're interested, let us know. Once again, Max Transport, 928-243-3443. Stay safe out there, guys.